Kofi was just a boy, but he had an old soul. Living in a quiet village surrounded by forests and rivers, Kofi loved exploring nature and helping his family. Every morning, he would collect fresh fruits to sell in the market, his tiny feet kicking up dust as he ran along the dirt paths. Life in the village seemed idyllic. Farmers tended to their crops, mothers sang while preparing meals, and children played by the river. Yet beneath this tranquility, an invisible threat was creeping closer, a threat that only Kofi would discover. One afternoon, while Kofi was playing by the stream, he noticed something strange. A fish floated to the surface, its scales dull and lifeless. At first, he thought it was an isolated incident, but as the days passed, more fish surfaced, and the water began to smell foul. Kofi's curiosity turned to concern. He tried to tell his older brother, but his brother laughed it off. "Fish die sometimes, Kofi, don't worry," he said. But Kofi couldn't ignore the growing sense of unease in his heart. Determined to uncover the truth, Kofi decided to follow the stream. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he saw more signs of devastation. Plants along the banks were withering, and animals that relied on the stream were either weak or dead. Something was poisoning the water. Kofi remembered the elders' stories about the river being a gift from the gods. It had always been pure and life-giving, but now it seemed as if the gods were angry. Kofi knew he had to act fast. When Kofi returned to the village, he went straight to the elders. He described what he had seen, but they dismissed his concerns. "You are just a child, Kofi. The river has sustained us for generations. It will heal itself," one elder said. Kofi felt frustrated, but didn't give up. He approached his best friend, Amma, and told her everything. Together, they decided to investigate further, even if no one believed them. The next evening, Kofi and Amma ventured upstream. After hours of searching, they found the source of the contamination: a rusted barrel, half buried in the mud, oozing black liquid into the stream. The stench was overwhelming, and Kofi knew this was the cause of the devastation. They noticed markings on the barrel, strange symbols and numbers. "This must have come from the factory beyond the hills," Amma whispered. The two friends knew they had to take this information back to the village. Armed with evidence, Kofi and Amma gathered the villagers that night. They described what they had found, and even brought a small sample of the contaminated water. The villagers began to murmur, realizing the gravity of the situation. The elders finally agreed to take action. They decided to send a group of men to investigate further and confront whoever was responsible. For the first time, Kofi felt hopeful that his village could be saved. The next day, the villagers marched to the factory. At first, the guards tried to stop them, but the villagers stood firm. With the barrel as evidence, they demanded to speak to the factory owner. After hours of negotiation, the factory owner finally agreed to stop dumping waste into the river. They also promised to clean up the mess they had made. The villagers left feeling victorious, but they knew the damage would take time to heal. Back in the village, everyone pitched in to restore their beloved stream. They cleared debris, planted trees, and prayed for the river to heal. Kofi worked tirelessly, earning the respect of everyone around him. The water slowly began to clear, and life returned to the village. The elders declared Kofi a hero, and the villagers learned to cherish and protect their natural resources. Years later, the river flowed as pure as it once did. Kofi's bravery had not only saved his village, but also taught them the importance of vigilance and unity. His story became a legend, passed down through generations. And though Kofi had grown, his spirit of determination and love for his village remained unchanged. He knew that challenges would come again, but together, his people could overcome anything. But Kofi's journey doesn't end here. New challenges and adventures await him, and his courage will be tested once more. Stay tuned for the next chapter of this extraordinary story.